Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, K Persia Commentary, and I just want to take a few moments out because I just witnessed another disturbing video out there that's circulating on the net. I think it was from TikTok actually, but anyway, it was a video that showed a black woman getting the brakes beat off of her by a Latino, what appears to be a Latino male. And then I saw another video a few days ago of another woman, a pregnant black woman, who was getting ready to be beat up by a white man, but a black man stepped in and came to her aid. And so and then our reaction as well as black women, and just kind of get some insight. There is a gentleman, a wise man by the name of Neely Fuller, that has said everything that happens to us in this world, we have to always point it back to and blame European or white people. And I think that we have to keep this in focus because we are the ultimate other to these people, and because whether it be that we have the ability to change the makeup of the races of people and how their phenotypes or their skin color or hair texture or physical features pronounce themselves, or whether it's just because they can dominate and they've been given that power to do so. I don't know. But one thing that I found that's disturbing in and of itself, but the main thing that I want to comment on is that black men, seemingly black men, too many, unlike the man that was that stepped in to help the pregnant black woman, the black man who did that, and because he had that Kit Kat on him, he was able to do it. But too many times, I'm seeing videos where brothers have a cell phone in their hands, and what they do is that they watch a black woman getting basically her backside beat in, and they're just standing there clout chasing by recording it. And I think that's sick, but I also think that that's a symptom of successfully effeminizing black men. And although there are many black men who are not a part of the community that is strongly promoting the effeminization, I think that it is taking hold over our men. And this is something that's been going on not for the last 20, 30, 60 years. It's been going on for the last 500 years, from the time that slavery got started and it became an institution. Just after Bacon's Nathaniel Bacon's rebellion, we really had the whole chattel slavery kickoff, because up until then it was just basically white people who were indentured servants, which was basically them coming over from Europe and working as quote-unquote slaves, not to the degree that chattel slavery was, but they had the opportunity, after working about maybe 7 or 10 years, then they can buy their own plot of land and then live their life. But they had to be in servitude in order to pay off the debt of them traveling to the Americas. And at that time, those there were black slaves that were part of it, especially the foundational ones. There's great evidence of that being the case, that foundational black Americans, which were basically the Native American tribes that were going to war with the settlers of that of the East Coast at that time. The new colonists were going to battle or were taking over territories that belonged to the foundational black Americans or Native Americans. So consequently, the conditions for the indentured servants were so bad that Nathan Bacon enlisted he used the woes of the indentured white servants, or the poor whites, and the slaves and Native Americans who were black at that time, and they were basically being decimated, but they were fighting. He brought them together for a short period of time. In order to fight the corporations, or the men who were the oligarchies of their day. And so that when they saw that the oligarchies, or the rich men, the barons of the day of the indentured servant, they cooked up race, right? They had to separate that. They could not have that again. They had to separate the black and the white. And that's been going on now. Now it's refined, because it's not just straight black and white. It's black and white, and those who classify themselves as white. And that could be a Latino person, that can even be an Asian person, that can be a person that may appear black or brown in color, but their allegiance is to whiteness and white supremacy. And in doing so, back in that day of chattel slavery, another thing that they would do is they would begin to blur the lines, or degenderize black men and black women. And what they would do is that they would put black men in dresses, and they would also take black women and work them as if they were a man. And there's documented evidence of what happened to us as females, how our bones and our backs and everything was just crushed, and oh my goodness, it was just, we died with that evidence of the brutality of it. So in the eyes of far too many white people, especially those who have power, we are still degenderized. And we worked hard as foundational black Americans, descendants of American slaves, to say, no, I am a woman. No, I have femininity. Yes, a black man, I am a man. Yes, I have masculinity. Yes, I have agency. And we've had it for like maybe 30 years, in the last, like right at the civil rights era, through the 90s, maybe early 2000s, maybe we had that, where we were looked upon as women, and the agency of what it means to be feminine, and black men had a masculinity to them, and it was hard fought. But the relentlessness of white people, whom I think are not working on their own. I know it's the people that are in front of us that we see, but there is strong evidence, and this is coming from white people as well, that there are other entities that inhabit this planet that are empowering them and giving them that information. There are videos and literature out there of people who are in the upper echelons of power that worship and give over themselves to these entities. Some of them call them demons, other them call them Satan, and still others say that they're aliens. I don't care. I think that for this to work so perfectly well, that in and of itself is subject to the very fact that there might be other agents out there that are non-human, that are assisting these people as a whole to basically freeze us in time, and to take us back to that area of where men and women of the black race are looked as one and the same, when we're not. And so this is what's frightening here, and disheartening and tragic, because we're just built differently. Our facial structures are built differently. Our upper body structures are built differently. Our muscles are built differently. Having a womb inside of you, and your body preparing for that, your body mass is just different. And I'm sorry, there's nothing wrong with differences. We're able to accept differences for flowers, like a rose is a rose and a tulip is a tulip. We don't try to say, well, no, a rose is a tulip and a tulip is a rose. We just don't do that, because somebody will look at you and say, there's something wrong with you. What are you talking about? No, there is a difference. Not only do we accept that in the natural world, but we appreciate that and we glorify that, right? Our rituals of cultural habits are built around that. An ocean's an ocean, a beach is a beach, and you don't confuse the two. And you don't try to say one is the other. A river is a river, and an ocean is an ocean. Now, they may have some points where they meet, but they may not. We understand bodies of water, bodies of nature. And yet, when it comes to this, it is more evident that somehow, and especially that this has really been put on the descendants of American slaves community so heavy, I could just see where it's working. And, to the men, black men, I just, when I hear black men's voices on the other end of the cell phone watching a black woman get beat, I have to say that's a victory for white supremacy. It's a victory. Because put down the damn phone is what I want to say. Stop recording. We've seen enough. Start recording and get in there. If you see a good fight, get in it and do something about it. So I appreciate the man who stepped in for the pregnant woman and took over, and to help that pregnant woman not get the brakes beat off of her, or even something worse, even losing her baby. One of the things that I would say for us as women, as black women, as descendants of American slaves, we really got to take stock of how we move. Most times it's out of fear. That's why we start flailing our hands and screaming at the top of our lungs. We're really crying out for help. When you see us doing that, we're sounding the alarm. It's not so much as a scream for help, but the raising of the voice is saying, please help me. Because I need assistance, and I know that I need assistance. And so I'm standing my ground, because I don't know if I walk away, I have in my system over 500 years of training that if I turn and walk away, then I really get attacked. And that is true. So we stand our ground hoping that we get assistance. I know, brothers, it may seem like something else is going on. Oh, let me pull out my phone because she's got this. Not necessarily. If you're drowning and someone throws you a lifeline, you're not going to sit there and say, no, I got this. No, you're going to grab for it. And so I believe that for us, there are ways that we can act differently. And there are ways that we're going to have to fight this whole thing of toxic masculinity, because in saying that masculinity is toxic and raising us up, please note that doing that, black women, we're telling the world that it's okay to masculinize us, and that's a dangerous precedent. Understand that we sit in the lowest position on this planet still. We have not risen above a goddamn thing. Excuse my French. I'll probably have to take that out, but we have not risen. I'm sorry, we're just not. And to be a strong black female is an oxymoron when you're at the bottom rung of society. Strong of what? What are we strong about? And also, it's also a dangerous thing when you think about it, because it robs us of our femininity. It robs us of the need of needed assistance, of needing help. Everybody needs someone. You don't walk through this world alone. And we are the out of all the women, out of all the races, we're the ones that need the most help. No other woman needs more help than what we do. And I think that we need to just say that, and we need to own that. And stop pretending like that doesn't happen. So when someone, because I've had, people, and it's always someone who's of a different race. Black women, we really don't say that to each other. We really don't say, oh yeah, you're a strong black woman. We sometimes in our ignorance say that we are a strong black woman. I don't anymore. I do not say that at all. I don't subscribe to that, because what that is that it's otherizing us and it's masculinizing us. When a person of another race says, I know you're a strong black woman, it's the first thing they come out with. They never say you're beautiful. You're a strong black woman. Pause. Oh, no, I need help. I definitely need help. I definitely need assistance. And then they just kind of look at you, right? Because you're breaking that cycle. I mean, why would we even pump our chest out at that? And if you do, you are, I found that no, don't do that, because then the claws come out and we really don't have any defenses to protect ourselves. We really don't. And I think when we put that on that level, then we allow other forces, we allow real power to come in. Real useful power that makes things go and makes things move in our direction. So yeah, I think I suggest that we throw off the shackles of being a strong black woman, because we're not. We're not. We are at the bottom rung. We need to just say that. And the war of chattel slavery was lost a long time ago. And the little bit of gains that we've gotten, we've gotten through the grace of God. But you know, when you read that Bible, like Dr. Amos Wilson says, you may want to read your Bible, because although God promised the Israelites that there was a promised land, they had to go in there and fight and take it. Do you know what I mean? And the people who, the generations said, no, I just want you to do it. You do it. While I sit here and watch you. They had to wander out in oblivion. I know it says the desert, but it was basically oblivion. Doing the same thing over and over again. It was the worst Groundhog Day ever recorded in history. So let's not be that way, sisters and brothers. Please, put down the damn phone and help us. We are in need of assistance, especially if another person of another race is hitting us all up in our head. It's time for you to stop recording. You got enough information. Now let's see you record yourself jumping in and being that man. And sisters, we probably going to have to look at a different way of how we respond to someone being aggressive with us. There are other ways to handle that and to de-escalate it, so it doesn't end up in a fight, or end up with our heads getting bashed in. All right, that's all I wanted to say. Please like or leave your comments and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.